What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen, where we're here to recap the day 2 of free agency frenzy for the Arizona Cardinals. And yes, I'm in much better spirits this time around because we finally made some moves, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. So appreciate everybody that's currently here right now. Appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys can definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about today. We got some rumors. We got to recap, and obviously we got another topic to talk about pertaining to, I guess, just the future of the Arizona Cardinals. And we're gonna have a good show today. We're gonna have a good show. I'm excited. Appreciate you guys for being here. Obviously, subscribe if this is your first time here on the road to 12K. Smack the like button. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. I know we're only sitting with 40 people, but no worries. But this is gonna be a shorter, abbreviated podcast because there is a Phoenix Suns versus Milwaukee Bucks game that starts around 7 o'clock. So it's going to be a shorter podcast this time around. Just FYI, here's your warning. But let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what the Arizona Cardinals has done so far in this year's free agency frenzy. Now, this is day 2 right now. And as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals have brought a good amount of people. Well, my man won't say a good amount of people, but we brought some people back. Kelvin Beachum yesterday, we ended up having a report coming out saying that Kelvin Beachum was signed into a 2-year contract. We went ahead and actually, put that on that last video with the Zach Allen video that I put out. So we knew that Kelvin Beachum's coming back, and I understand there's a lot of people out there that are kind of a little iffy on Kelvin Beachum because of that whole storyline with, Kyler Murray need to grow up. Okay. We know, but Kelvin Beachum's coming back, right tackle, so that's good. I mean, he's probably been one of the bright spots for the Arizona Cardinals in terms of health. Now, in terms of being, great, he's not great, but he's definitely serviceable. A good right tackle for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward, so I'm excited. Now, we also did release some news today that Will Hernandez, now that just came out probably about an hour and a half ago, that the Arizona Cardinals are bringing back Will Hernandez. Now, that right there, I believe they said it was a 2-year deal worth $9 million. So obviously, if you do the math, about $4.5 million per year for Will Hernandez. So we got our right guard back. So far, our right side of the line looks to be intact, right? Intact. Got Beach, we got Will Hernandez, we got DJ, and then we got 2 more spots that we're just kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen, right? So we got the center, it's just kind of up in the air right now, and then we have that left guard position that we're just kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Now, a couple other people to talk about, Corey Komet. We ended up getting him last year, and it was one of those deals where literally they just picked him up. They didn't really use him very much, but he was seen throughout the regular season here and there sporadically. But Corey Komet is now coming back in a 1-year deal. I'm not sure exactly what the usage is going to be for a Corey Komet personally. Now, I didn't see what his contract was personally. So if you guys do know, definitely let me know in the chat. But Corey Clement did go ahead and sign a 1-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals. And then the last but definitely not least, Matt Prater is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're excited about that, Matt Prater, which I honestly thought it was a surprise because Matt Prater wasn't very consistent last year. Now, granted, yes, he was going through a lot of injuries. He's 38 years old. 38 years old, and Matt Prater is just signed a 2-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals. So, like, we're kind of in that situation where we're like, okay, cool, like that's awesome, right? Come back in because we need a kicker. We're kind of in that weird situation where we need kickers / we need a punter as well. So Prater is coming back, and I believe that's a 2-year deal. And I wasn't able to see the contract on his personally. So definitely if you guys know his contract as well, those are really the only 2 I don't know the contract of. I know that the years, so Corey Clement is the 1-year deal and then Prater is a 2-year deal. I just don't know what the numbers look like for them too. But obviously Beach, Will Hernandez is coming back. And then we got the new addition, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what you guys are thinking in the chat about the new addition, because this is the new guy. This is the new guy that's coming in to be a new linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals, and that is Kaiser White. Obviously was drafted here from the Chargers, the LA Chargers. I believe it was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, in the 4th round. Still very young, still very young. He played 1 year with the Philadelphia Eagles, and obviously that's where the relationship was formed with Jonathan Gannon, and he wanted to bring him back. Now, looking a little deeper into Kaiser, I do think that defense So here's the thing with the Jonathan Gannon's defense, he said it himself that he's not one to say that, hey, this is our scheme, right? Whether it's 3-4-4-3, right? He's been one to say that he doesn't have a scheme per se, and it kind of leaves a little people like, oh, I don't know about that. But, you know, I think the situation that we're going to find ourselves in is we're going to have Zaven Collins at the mic, and then the Will, which is the weak side. I think we're going to have um Kaiser White, which is a new guy that we ended up getting. Now that kind of leaves Isaiah Simmons in terms of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Now we still have the ability to still use Isaiah Simmons there and maybe use White as a swing, right? We don't 100% know. So that's big. One of the big things that I'm kind of, intrigued with, not really excited, but I'm more intrigued to see how the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to maneuver those three linebackers. Now we went ahead and like, we're seeing some people already making some crazy predictions like, oh my God, we're going to have the best linebacking core out. Okay, let's pump the brakes on that. Like, I know we've seen some progress on Zaven Collins and definitely kudos to him. And obviously we want the best for Isaiah Simmons. But bringing in Kaiser White obviously comes with some perks. I don't really know him personally, like in terms of like, I don't watch Eagles games day in and day out, right? And we just got the news probably about 4 or 5 hours ago that he's a member of the Arizona Cardinals for a 2-year deal. But I think the ability that he knows at least some of the Jonathan Gannon / Nick Rally's defense helps out a good amount, right? He's definitely going to be the one guy that hopefully the defense is going to lean on because he's going to know that defense, left and right. Now, obviously, the rest of the staff that's going to be in the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have an opportunity to learn it as well. Obviously, OTAs, training camp, blah, 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 blah. But that's definitely a perk coming in from, Kaiser White coming in as an Arizona Cardinal. So I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. Now, obviously, that one wasn't a big contract either. I believe that contract was a 2-year deal worth up to $11 million for the 2 years. So if you do the math, $5.5 million. So here's the big question right now, right? Where does this leave the Arizona Cardinals right now? Now, me doing the calculations, doing the numbers in my head without really knowing what Corey Clement's contract is or Matt Prater's, we have somewhere around the lines of $20 million, give or take, because like I said, we don't know Prater and we don't know Clement. Now, we most likely will learn that a little, maybe in a couple days, or maybe when a source does come out and tell us what it is, but we still have upwards of, I would say somewhere around 20, maybe 19, 18, something like that. Because realistically, when we first started this free agency frenzy and when we released Marcus Golden, I think we had upwards of about $34 million in change, or maybe a high $33 million, somewhere around there. So if we take the $13 million away from the guys that we do know, that leaves us with about 20 mil, but we don't know Prater's and we don't know Clements off the top of my head as of right now. Let me get to this contribution. What's up, brother? We got El Telephone. What's going on, man? He says Isaiah Simmons at edge. Honestly, dude, this is something that we've been hearing a lot. And I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at the slightest. I think this would be so cool to see Isaiah Simmons and not just Isaiah Simmons like, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this. No, an actual spot where he's going to be able to find a home. That's what we want, right? That's exactly what we're looking for from Isaiah Simmons. Obviously, a first-round pick. He's already going into his 4th year. That's crazy how the time flies, going into his 4th year already. And we're kind of in a situation where we're like, we need to find a spot for Isaiah. So the idea of maybe Isaiah Simmons being a pass rusher would be kind of cool. Now, honestly, I don't, here's my only, I guess, worry with this all. If he does become an edge rusher, I don't want the Cardinals to say, we got these edge rushers, right? We got the young guys, Majay, Cam, Victor Dimikishi, and now we're going to be moving Isaiah Simmons to the edge. We don't need edge anymore, right? I hope they don't land themselves in that situation because I still want Will Anderson. I still do want Will Anderson coming into the draft, and I get it. We got like weeks away before the draft. I'm excited about that, by the way, but that's my only, I hope that this doesn't change the narrative or change the thought process for the Cardinals if they do decide to move Isaiah into the edge position, which I'm on board. I'm excited for. I think that would be really, really cool. But as of right now, TBD. But honestly, I think you might be onto something there, man. I think you might be onto something. Deus, what's up, brother? Appreciate you. And I got the name right. Look at me learning finally, eventually. What's up, Deus? He says Matt Prater is our leading scorer in offense, and he should have been our team MVP. Scored more points than Kyler. Thanks, my go cards and hashtag free food. That's funny. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate the contribution, man. Obviously, thank you so very much. Thanks for the support. I absolutely do appreciate it. Now, honestly, with Matt Prater, and I know I made a video of who walks and who stays, right? I made a video probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and I said Matt Prater should walk. But honestly, we need a kicker, and he is really reliable. As long as he can stay healthy, I think we'll be fine. It's just we need to find another solution if he does decide to retire after the 2 years, because he's 38 years old. Granted, he's a kicker. He could probably kick for 2 more years, and that's completely fine. As long as he's able to stay healthy, I think we're fine. But going back to the cap situation that we have right now, I think we have upwards about, maybe, I'm going to give a guess here, 18 to 20 mil. I'm just going to give a guess. Just a guess, 18 to 20 mil, because the way I calculated the 3 players that we do know the contracts for add up to about 13 mil. We had about $34 million. So if we do the math, give or take, not counting Prater's or Clement's, we're looking about 20, but I'm going to subtract some and say somewhere around 18, 19, $20 million left heading into this year's free agency day 3, which is probably going to be more where we're going to see more moves happen. And I get it. There's some people out there. I've been reading the comments, and keep in mind, I'm on every social platform, y'all. Believe it or not, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. YouTube is obviously the biggest social platform that I'm on. And then also on TikTok here and there. But I'm hearing a lot of people out there in terms of Kaiser White. A lot of people are not happy with it. A lot of people aren't liking it. To me, especially on the Twitter presence, I definitely made it seem like I wanted big players, and that's not the case. I understand the situation that we're in right now. I just want the Cardinals to make a move. Like, seriously, I just wanted the Cardinals to make a move, and I'm glad that we finally did, being that we have so many holes, right? Especially our offensive line, because truly, when does Kyler come back? We don't know. We don't know when Kyler comes back. So when he does come back, he needs a line, right? He needs a line. So that's definitely something that I'm glad that they at least try to address. Right now, it's just a waiting game. And right now, it's going to be one of those situations where I hope they still stay healthy, especially Will Hernandez. Let me get to this contribution. He says, AZ fan, he says, D-Hop not traded yet. I wonder what's going on. Well, this is my inkling on this. I think what's going on is that DeAndre Hopkins and the Arizona Cardinals, I think that they're waiting till the new year, which actually starts tomorrow. Today starts the tampering period. That's Monday and Tuesday of like tampering period, but nobody's able actually to get signed until Wednesday. So I think realistically, they're probably waiting until Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday if it's going to happen. Now, I do think it's still going to happen personally. I know there's some fans out there that are like, no, we can't give away our top wide receiver. But I think it goes bigger than just this goes bigger than just we can't get rid of our top wide receiver, right? This goes more into the situation of we need to be able to accumulate picks, right? I guess that's the best way to say it. And also on the other side of the coin, the Arizona Cardinals aren't Super Bowl bound this year. Whether you want to admit it or not, right? They're not Super Bowl bound this year. But I think the realism is that if DeAndre Hopkins does want to obviously continue to play football, which obviously he does, this is not a team that he's going to win a Super Bowl. It's the truth of the nature. I think he is going to get traded, but I mean, even if he doesn't get traded, that's a win for the Cardinals. Now, I'm not sure how he's going to react to that, even if he doesn't, right? I'm not sure how he's going to react to that, but honestly, on the grand scheme of things, if he stays, then cool. I mean, that works out for us. But in the grand scheme of things, I think he is going to get traded. I think so. And then not to mention, obviously, now that you brought up the DeAndre Hopkins thing, we got Micah Parsons, ladies and gentlemen, doing a very, very, he's trying really hard. We got Micah Parsons right now on Twitter. Now, this was captured about, about 3 hours ago. Micah Parsons went on Twitter and said, at DeAndre Hopkins, it's about that time. So I'm not sure if he knows something. I'm not sure if Micah Parsons is just trying to play devil's advocate. We know that DeAndre Hopkins is working out in Dallas, right? We know that. We know DeAndre Hopkins loves Dallas. He's been spending a lot of time in Dallas. He's been working out with a lot of players. Maybe this has to do with a workout that they have scheduled, right? We don't know. We don't know. But we do know that there is very heavy links as of right now to the Dallas Cowboys for DeAndre Hopkins if he were to get traded. Now, I still do think that there's multiple other teams that can be very well suited for him, right? The Patriots. To me, the Giants are still up there. Now, obviously, there's going to be people back and forth that don't think that. The Chiefs, because if he wants to ring chase, he can go there. The Chargers, Jags, something along those lines. And the reason why I named them, especially the Jags, is because they have a very cheap quarterback that has very good potential. And Christian Kirk's over there. So, there's still a lot of other teams to kind of, talk about for a potential trade for DeAndre Hopkins. Obviously, the more we get, the better for the long run for the Arizona Cardinals. But as of right now, I do think he is still going to get traded. I truly, truly do. But I mean, if it doesn't, then hey, I mean, it works out for us. I mean, we got DeAndre Hopkins back, right? But like I said, realistically, what's going to happen with the Cardinals next year? Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. Honestly, this rebuild definitely feels different. This doesn't feel like a rebuild to me. This feels like a completely demolish. This feels like a demolish this roster up. That's what it feels like, because obviously Zach Allen wasn't signed back to the Arizona Cardinals. And I get there's some people out there that are like, oh, $15 million is expensive. Okay, right? Is that whatever? I mean, opinions are opinions, right? Byron Murphy is probably going to go upwards of what, 13, 15, 16, $17 million, just really depending on who's going to sign Byron Murphy. And if we truly only have about $19-18 million left, are we really going to be able to bring Byron Murphy back, right? That's the big question out there. So I feel like this is more of an absolute blow up more than a rebuild. Obviously, we went through a brand new regime. We got a GM, we got a brand new coach, we got a new coaching staff, we got everything out here right now. So it feels more like a complete demolish, burn it down to the ground. Let's see if we can restart this bad boy back up than a rebuild to me. But I mean, honestly, spade to spade, apples, oranges, however you want to call it. Cardinals aren't Super Bowl bound next year. That's for sure. That's for sure. The Arizona Cardinals are not Super Bowl bound. But those are the main updates that we have to talk about pertaining to the Cardinals free agency. Now, I get it. Nothing big, right? Nothing huge. Nothing for you to rest your worry head about and say, oh my God, the Cardinals are making big moves, because they're not. They're not making huge moves. But I think that they're trying to fix what Keim has destroyed. And we know very well on this channel, very well on this channel, that Keim has definitely has done a doozy. That's the nicest way to put it. It definitely has put his mark on this roster, and it shows very, very much that this thing needs to get fixed. It needs to get fixed, and it's more for the depth side more than anything. Now, yes, we don't have a center. That's a big deal, right? I mean, there was no official retirement for Rodney Hudson, but there was that report that came out that said the Cardinals are going to part ways, which essentially means he's going to retire or he's going to get let go. Essentially, he's not going to be here, most likely. And then the whole left guard situation, I don't think Pugh's coming back. I don't think Pugh's coming back. We heard him talk, and it seemed like he's really wanting to weigh his options. Obviously, he's not going to retire, but he wants to get into a contending team. Is that the Cardinals? Some people think so, right? Very optimistic people think that they are. But I mean, the Cardinals aren't. I just want to see a team that gets better and better. That's all I want. I want talent. I want to rake in young talent into this roster, especially in the draft. I want to make sure that we at least, out of the 8 picks that we have, land 3 or 4 of those picks. And I mean starters. They don't need to be superstars, but I mean starters. I want what the Seattle Seahawks did this last year. They hit on, what was it? Was it a tackle or a guard? They got a cornerback, and they got a few other pieces as well. The Seattle Seahawks did a very good job in the draft, and they got 4 out of their, was it 7, whatever, how many picks they had last year, I don't even know. But they landed a good amount. If the Cardinals can continue to find young talent like that and build it on the cheap, that's exactly what we're looking for, right? For the future. Now, dark days ahead for sure. I hope this doesn't take as long as people are predicting at this right now. I think 98.7 was saying like this is going to be like a 2 or 3 year thing. I'm like, bruh, like, oh, I do not want to be living in a world for a 2 to 3 year rebuild, because like if you really think about it, like this is what I'm going to segue into here. I'm going to segue into a completely different topic at this very moment. Just give me 1 second here, because I think we might be, am I glitching? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat. Am I glitching? I think I'm having some issues with my connection. We good? Just want to make sure that I don't start this topic without glitching out. Thumbs up. I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't see anybody saying I'm glitching. Usually people do say it real quick. Okay, so I want to jump into this next topic, and please keep in mind that this is going to be a 30-minute podcast. This is not going to be the long hour one, just because there's a Suns game that I really want to watch. So this is what's going to be kind of the situation that we're in. I think we all know as Cardinal fans right now, right, where we're at. We know where we're at. Here's the situation that I fear. If this truly take 2 or 3 years to rebuild this up, there's a lot of factors that we need to kind of obviously think about. The biggest factor that we have to think about is Kyler Murray, right? Kyler Murray. Now, I know Jonathan Gannon said one of the biggest perks, right? One of the biggest perks about having this job is the fact that Kyler Murray or that we have a franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray. 2 or 3 years to rebuild, and then Kyler Murray there, because some people are saying that he's not coming back for the year. Like, I don't believe that. I actually think that he's progressing a lot faster than people are thinking, and I think we might be getting him back in October, but maybe towards the beginning of October. I still think he's going to miss games, but I don't think it's as much as people think. But if this truly take 2 or 3 years to rebuild, like what is that going to be for the future of Kyler Murray, right, in the Arizona Cardinals? Because if you really think about it, if the Arizona Cardinals truly go back-to-back top 5 picks in the NFL draft, do you think that the Arizona Cardinal fan base is going to be asking for another quarterback even when Kyler Murray's under contract? That's a question for you guys. Think about it. Absolutely think about it. Now, I don't want this to take 2 or 3 years. I would die. No, not literally die, but this would be the most painful thing to watch, right? And I get it. Steve Keim has destroyed this roster left and right. But if you think about it, back-to-back top 5 picks, do you think we're going to start hearing people say Arizona Cardinals need to get a quarterback? That's what I fear. That's what I fear. And that's one of the main reasons that I still want the Arizona Cardinals to be engaging in this free agency. I get it. We're not going to get the Jawan Taylor, right? We're not going to get the big people that are costing $20 million. I get it. I understand that. But the Kyler Murray thing being the fact that if this does take that, are we going to get a top 5? Are we going to get another top 5 pick and maybe get another quarterback in a year or maybe even 2 years? Like that's a concerning thing, at least in my mind. Let me get to this contribution here real quick, and I'll get to your guys' super or your chat here. What's up, Seth? This is, hey, Mike. What a great signing we made today. We signed Kaiser White and Kevin Strong. Oh, I'm glad you brought up Kevin Strong. I did see the rumors, but I haven't seen anybody confirm that, so I haven't posted anything on there. But I'm going to be doing a little bit more digging about that. I appreciate you for letting me know. But anyways, I hope we get a quarterback tomorrow. That's a great question. We'll talk about the quarterbacks here soon. So that's kind of where my concern is with Kyler, right? Because we got Kyler signed up into what, 2027? I think that's correct. We're heading into the 2023 season. We got the 2024 season coming through. And technically, we have Kyler Murray for 3 more years, right? We got Kyler Murray signed up for 3 more years in his contract. But if this, we all know who's going to be the first person to blame. We all know it. We've seen it. The writing's in the wall. Is the Cardinals going to go quarterback? If not next year, the following year? Because if this is rebuild, is this a situation that we're going to find ourselves with another quarterback because we're rebuilding? And I don't mean just rebuilding. This is an emphasis on demolishing this bad boy, burning this down, throwing a cocktail to this roster and blowing this thing up. Like, this is a blow up absolute. This is a rebuild, like the way that the Cardinals are treating this anyways, right? The ways that the Cardinals are treating this is an absolute blow up. Molotov cocktail on the roster. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned for the career of Kyler Murray pertaining to him as a person. Now, I've said this many times. I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan, not a Kyler Murray fan. I like Kyler Murray. He's my quarterback as long as he is my quarterback. But does anybody have any concern or fear that this rebuild is only hurting the chances of him retaining to be our franchise quarterback of the future? Because if you think about it, expectations are already there for Kyler. Kyler's never won a playoff game. Never won a playoff game. He's heading into his year 5. If he misses games, people will be like, oh, well, he missed games, right? Next year, rebuild or not, there's going to be blood in the water. There's going to be blood in the water is what I'm saying. So this is going to be interesting. A very, very interesting storyline. Very, very interesting. Obviously, blowing up. Rebuild, I'm down with. But I do think that there is a difference between completely burn this, let's throw a Molotov cocktail into this roster, as opposed to, just rebuilding. Because rebuilding, to me, obviously rebuilding is rebuilding. But you still got some focal pieces. But we got some big free agents that are leaving the Arizona Cardinals. Zach Allen. And whether you agree he should be here or should not, or he's mid or he's not mid, that's irrelevant. What I'm saying is that the Arizona Cardinals didn't make that move with the understanding that we're not going to be in contention. So, and then Byron Murphy is another big one. So cornerback depleted, right? Interior of the defensive line depleted. Licky Fotu, Rashad Lawrence, they haven't really blossomed into what we wanted them to be. We don't know. We'll see exactly. We got TBD, keep developing. We got some young, promising edge players. Cornerbacks depleted. We got our safeties. That looks cool. Our middle linebackers, although a lot of people are very optimistic and excited about it, they're not the superstars that we all wanted them to be, especially first-round talents, but they are getting better, right? They're getting better. They're progressing. They're getting to the level that, hopefully at one day we'll all be able to say best linebacker duo, hopefully. But concerning. Very concerning. Now, let's get to this here real quick before we close shop, because like I said, this is only going to be a 30-minute podcast. I want to make sure that I address this real quick. There's no way that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to get a quarterback and sign Byron Murphy at the same time. So the Arizona Cardinals right now have Colt McCoy in their roster. I've said this months ago, maybe even months ago, that I don't feel like Colt McCoy is going to be the backup quarterback to the Arizona Cardinals, because I felt like he was Cliff Kingsbury's guy. Now, he is still under contract for one more year, technically, yes. But I do think that the Arizona Cardinals, with the understanding that Kyler is going to be missing games, should probably be going into a market for a quarterback. What's going to be an average backup quarterback salary? Let's just throw a number out there. What, $8-10 million, something along that, just really depending on who you're looking for. I know Sam Darnold was just signed. Let's take a look to see what Sam Darnold was signed for. Let's just for kicks. If I knew how to spell his name, I probably could. Let's see here. Let me see if I could find his contract real quick, because that would be kind of a comp. Okay, here it is. So Sam Darnold signed a 1-year deal, $4.5 million. Okay. $3.5 million guaranteed. That's a former first-round pick, ladies and gentlemen. Sheesh, how the mighty have fallen. So 4.5. So I guess not as expensive as I thought it would be. Okay, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So 4.5 is definitely attainable, especially if you're going to get somebody like a Sam Darnold, right? And I know Jacoby Brissett is going to be a name that a lot of people want. Jacoby Brissett is going to be, and obviously because the links of Petzing and all that different stuff. So right now having 20, right? Byron Murphy might seem to be somewhere around the 13, 14, 15, $16 million range. And let's be honest, what people said about Zach Allen is going to be the exact same thing people are going to say about Byron Murphy. The moment he signs into a different team, they're going to say things like he was mid, right? He was injury prone. We didn't want him anyways, right? With the Cardinals, we're going to spend that money. We're going to hear the same darn thing. I don't know if Byron Murphy is attainable. I don't know, especially if we do need a quarterback. Now, if we keep Colt McCoy and that's what we're going to be rolling with, okay, then we got some options. But we still got more holes. Got more holes still in this roster to definitely go ahead and continue to put together. Because if D-Hop does stay, and that's a big if, ladies, and D-Hop does stay, D-Hop wants to win games. Kyler, when he comes back, wants to win games. Rebuild or not, blowing this up, Molotov cocktail throwing into a roster, it doesn't matter. They still want to win games. James Conner wants to win games. Zach Ertz wants to win games. So although, yes, on paper, this is going to be a complete, absolute burn this bad boy down to the ground type of thing, when Kyler does come back, they're going to want to win, rebuild or not. So Definitely a lot to think about. A lot to think about. Let me get to this contribution here real quick. What's up, Seth? He says, "Hey, Mike, I think we might." Oh, snap! Oh, that's a bold prediction, my dude. He says we might win 2024 Super Bowl champs in Vegas, but anyways, we might sweep. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not sure about that one, but dude, but okay. I think if we're lucky, we'll be able to take one win of each. Like one win from the Rams, one win from the Niners, and one win from the Seahawks. If we're lucky. I feel like sweeping the West, I'm not sure if that's even attainable as well. Definitely not Super Bowl, the next Super Bowl for sure. The next year as well. I hope that we're just getting closer to the playoffs. I hope we can win a playoff game. Like that's so sad that that's where we're at. We haven't won a playoff game, ladies and gentlemen. We finally made it to the playoffs, but we haven't won a playoff game since 2015. We're starved. We need it. We want it. So, a lot to unfold. I appreciate the contribution, by the way, Seth. Thank you so very much. I definitely don't agree that the Arizona Cardinals are Super Bowl bound anytime soon. I can only hope in about 3 years we'll be. Because I want the rebuild to be 1 year, get ready for the next, and then playoffs, and then Super Bowl next year. And I don't always get what I want. We know that. We know that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I absolutely do appreciate you guys rocking with me. This is going to be a smaller, shorter, abbreviated version. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, appreciate you guys do that. Definitely before you leave, definitely smack the like button. I appreciate you guys. This is going to be a smaller, abbreviated version because the Phoenix Suns are playing against the Milwaukee Bucks, and I want to watch that game. I hope we don't go on a back-to-back loss because I hate losing to Golden State. I hate losing to the Milwaukee Bucks because they took us out the freaking finals. So I'm going to be watching that game, and that's why we're closing up shop here pretty soon. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. If you can't get it onto the chat, the people that are watching this on the playback, let me know what you guys' thoughts are of all the new people that the Arizona Cardinals have brought back, or I guess one new person that the Arizona Cardinals brought back, and the people that we did bring back. Let me know what your guys' thoughts here in the comments below, as well as the chat. Appreciate everybody for coming through. I'm only assuming Byron Murphy's news is going to be coming up here pretty soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Definitely by Friday, we'll know if Byron Murphy is going to be a Cardinal. I don't think it will be, but maybe we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a different team picks him up. I think there was a rumor out there saying that the Vikings might be interested, but at this point, TBD. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Here we go. Last contribution of the day. El Telefono. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. He says Byron Murphy wait, what? No. Is this the truth? Is this real life? Oh, buddy. I swear to everything holy, this happens every single time to me. What was the deal? What was the deal? The Vikings are working to find out, and I just said that there was a rumor about it. Hear me well. Working on finalizing a deal for the quarterback buyer, big-time defender, lands in Minnesota. Okay. Appreciate the contribution, my dude. Thank you so very much for letting me know. Video coming out soon. Seth says, well, tomorrow's Lennon birthday. Okay, awesome. Perfect. If Lennon's here, definitely thank you so very much. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday for everybody. Wow. Ian Rappaport just tweeted it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me look a little into it. Video coming out here, TBD. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Here we go again. It's over. It's done. Burn it down. Burn it down. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.